This video is made possible by Spencer Shipley at Packey Webb Ford in Downers Grove, Illinois. Spencer is dedicated to finding the right car for you in the quickest time possible. Give him a call or contact him with the information up on the screen or found in the description below.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2021 Ford Escape SEL. Up front is a 1.5 liter turbocharged inline 3, and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now I'm super excited to be driving this here Escape for a couple of different reasons. First of all, they freshly redesigned the Escape for 2020. They gave it a complete makeover, and I haven't driven one quite yet, so I'm very excited to see how it stacks up. But the second reason I'm super excited to be driving the Escape is because I recently drove a Mazda CX-30 Turbo, which is priced very similarly to this here Escape, and that video will be linked at the end of this one. So let's see how it stacks up. Let's get back to that 1.5 liter turbocharged inline 3. I will put the horsepower and torque up on the screen. Nothing really too crazy. This is the same engine that we actually drove in the Bronco Sport not too long ago. And I really think it's fine for this application. For a smaller, lighter SUV like this, you don't really need all that much power. And let's talk about the fuel economy. That is up on screen as well. It helps sip gas with the 1.5 liter. Now there is a 2-liter turbo offered as well. And of course there is a hybrid drivetrain. If that's something you'd like to seek out, they do sell the Escape Hybrid. But this is not the hybrid, this is just the 1.5 liter. All right, sport mode, 1.5 liter. It does all right. It's a 3-cylinder turbo. It's not going to knock your socks off. However, it's an Escape. It doesn't really need to. Like I said, paired to it is an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's shifting fine. It's nice, quiet, calm, and collected, and it's not shifting at any weird points. I don't feel uncomfortable by it. And that's all I really look for. Last but not least, this here Escape is all-wheel drive, which is fantastic, especially here in the Chicagoland area. However, you can still find a Escape with front-wheel drive if that's either what you prefer, or if you get a base model, that's what you're going to get. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the interior. We have quite a bit to go through because the SEL, while it's not a platinum is the top trim level, this is still packed with a bunch of bells and whistles. So in front of me, I have digital gauges. On the left is my speed, and on the right is my tachometer. But I have a bunch of things that I can cycle through in the gauge cluster, which I'm showing now, and I like this sort of system that Ford's been using. The Explorer gets this system, the Bronco gets this system, and I love all the different pages you can cycle through. Tons of good information here from Ford, and that's something you won't find in the Mazda CX-30. The Mazda CX-30 will give you your trip odometer, and you could switch between analog-looking gauges or a digital gauge, but that's it. That's where your customization ends for the CX-30. So this actually has a lot more customization than the CX-30. On the steering wheel, on the left, I have my cruise control options. On the right, I have my selector dials for that center screen that we just talked about in the gauge cluster. And I have my phone options, skip track, and voice commands. The steering wheel feels decent. This is the first time we start to feel the sort of leatherette from Ford. This is fake leather on the steering wheel. However, it feels nice in my hands. It does feel slightly plasticky. It's noticeable that it isn't true leather, but that's okay in my book. To the left of me, I do have my headlight switches, fog light switches, and tailgate button. And then on the door, I have 3 different memory seat options, my power locks, power mirrors, and power windows. Moving into the center, we have a little touchscreen display up on the dash. This is the My Sync System 3, which is nice and I like it. So let's pull over here and talk about all the features of the center screen. All right, so now talking about the center screen here, we have a couple different things we can go through. First of all, let's take a look at the settings. Of course, clock, Bluetooth phone, driver assistance. This is all of your safety features that you can cycle through here. And notice how responsive the screen is to my touch. This is really, really good for modern cars. This is pretty much as good as your iPhone or Android or whatever touchscreen phone you deal with. I always get really upset when I touch a screen and it's not as good as my phone. My phone costs a fraction of what this car costs. I should have good technology, and this certainly has that. But, I mean, we have cross-traffic alert, driver alert, traction control, parking aid, blind spot, rear view camera. We can do all of those settings here. When we go to vehicle, we can set the idle limit, rear occupant alert, easy entry and exit, my key. You know, all of these really nice, solid features are available here on the Escape. Ford Pass Connect, vehicle hotspot and connectivity settings. I can do onboard Wi-Fi if that's something that I'd want to do. General settings, I mean, this is just, you know, regular stuff, nothing too crazy there. 911 assistance, automatic updates, mobile apps, display, voice control, and valet mode. So now we are on the Apple CarPlay. This is the MySync 3 system, so there is no wireless Apple CarPlay. It is connected here through a cord. However, it operates just like regular Apple CarPlay, nothing really too crazy, but I like the size of it. These apps are a lot larger than they are in the Mazda CX-30. They're a lot easier to hit, easier to see, and this is a touchscreen where the CX-30 actually does not get a touchscreen. So I really like this. This is very easy to navigate and find. Very colorful screen here. As you can see, I have all my apps and text messages and music and things. So really, really nice. I really like the screen. I think it's very high quality, very colorful, and that's all I can really ask for from a vehicle at this price point. Now, the backup camera is decent. When I turn the wheel, the lines change, which is something I really like. However, it's not the highest of quality. Trying to zoom in here, as you can see, it sort of gets pixelated. However, it does the job, and it does display your backup beepers on the screen when you are backing up, so that is definitely helpful. So I like the backup camera overall. No complaints.
All right, so to save us both some time, I'm going to be doing today's sponsor reads, hot lapping the test track in my 2019 Mazda 3 all-wheel drive. The first sponsor is Fixed. Fixed is an automotive OBD2 sensor that you plug into your car, and it gives you tons of really cool diagnostics. Click the link in the description below, and you will get an offer code for my viewers only. You get a bunch of money off. Next is Con Plates. You don't want to stick the plate on the outside of your car? Cool. Stick it out with some suction cups. And last but not least, if you want to sell your car, go to cashforcars.com. Click the link in the description below, get a free quote, and they'll pick up your car in less than 24 hours. Thank you to all the sponsors for making these reviews possible, and that is a lap. Down below that, I do have my radio controls, skip track, mute, and on and off for that center display. And then I have 2 climate control vents and my hazard switch. Moving on to the climate controls themselves, we have a bunch of options here. I have dual zone climate, which is fantastic. I have heated seats and a heated steering wheel. And of course, I love the fact that I get my classic little Ford man down on the climate controls, showing me where I'm sending my temperature. I absolutely love that. They've been doing this for years and years and years, and it's nice to see an old friend. At the bottom of the center stack, we do have a 12-volt outlet, 2 USB chargers, a USB-C and a traditional USB, and a 12-volt outlet, as well as I get a wireless charger pad down at the bottom as well. Very, very nice, and part of the SEL package. Moving into the true center console, we have the shifter off to the left. It is a rotary dial shifter. You turn it all the way to the left for park, all the way to the right for drive, and other gears in between. That's also accommodated by a power parking brake with the auto holding brake. I absolutely love the auto holding brake feature. Fantastic, very useful. When you come to a stop, you hit the brake a little bit extra hard and it holds the vehicle in place, which is awesome. Then down at the very bottom, we do have the automatic start stop on and off, which is great. And we have our drive mode button. So we have tons of drive modes here in the Escape, which I'm a big, big fan of. There's Eco, Sport, Slippery, Snow/Sand Assist, Normal, and back to Eco. So the really cool thing is that when I change between these modes, the gauges themselves actually change. So here in Eco mode, it's a little bit lighter and the speed is actually in green. However, we move it to Sport, the car downshifts first of all, but the gauges turn black with red outlines. Really gives you a really sporty feel, and I like that. Moving over to Slippery, the gauges just look normal. Snow and Sand, there is a little bit of a sandy sort of color scheme, which I like. Normal, of course, is normal. And then we're back to Eco. To the right of all of that, I do have 2 cup holders, so we'll do a big friggin' bottle test, and unfortunately, the big friggin' bottle fails. I didn't really expect it to pass. The CX-30 failed as well, so that's pretty much par for the course in vehicles this size.
Center console doesn't have anything inside of it, so let's talk about the seats. Again, they're finished in a fake leather. This is not true leather. However, they are nice and comfortable, and like I said, they are memory, they are power, and they are heated, which are fantastic. I am pleasantly enjoying the heated seats on this 30-degree morning. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, now we're in the back of the 2021 Ford Escape SEL, and the first thing I notice back here is just the space. My knees are not hitting the seat in front of me. My head is not even coming close to the ceiling. I have this beautiful skylight that goes from the front occupants all the way back over my head here in the back. But let's get back to that space, just talking about the space back here. Now, I keep mentioning I recently reviewed a 2021 Mazda CX-30 Turbo, and that thing I really had to squeeze myself into the back of. This is a completely different story. This is fantastic back here. I'm very, very comfortable. Like I said, tons of room. I have a USB-C as well as traditional USB charger down below, something a CX-30 doesn't have. But besides that, I mean, like power windows. I have this little fold down cup holder in the center here. Nothing too crazy besides that, but just the space back here. I would sit back here very, very comfortably on a road trip or going into the city or whatever it may be. I'm very comfortable back here, and that cannot be said about other vehicles in this segment. I really have to give the trophy to the Ford Escape in terms of backseat room. But before we hop back up front and talk about the looks, let's go talk about the cargo area. All right, so around the back of the Ford Escape, and hit it twice, and the rear tailgate will open. That's just done off the key, which is very, very nice. I do have a 12-volt outlet back here. That's what I always look for in cars like this. And other than that, this is the storage space that you get. These are the floor mats, of course, because it's a new car. Pop this up. I don't get a spare tire. I just get an inflator kit. But other than that, nothing really to report back here. Nothing really too insane. These seats do go down, so let me do a quick demonstration. And so now that's all of the space that you get, which is really, really nice. Last thing, I do have a tailgate button right up here that closes it nice and soft. Now we got to talk about the looks, and this is where the redesign really starts to show. I'll show a 2017 Ford Escape paired next to this 2021, and you'll see the differences immediately. I really like the fresh new look of the Escape. I think it honestly looks good. It looks a little Aston Martin-y at the front. It sort of has that look to it. And I think overall it's a rather handsome vehicle. And so with all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think of the 2021 Ford Escape? Well, I think it's very well equipped, and I think it really is a good SUV. I think the engine could use a little bit more power, the 1.5 liter. However, there are other engines available, so I can't really knock the Escape as a whole for that. I think if I were to buy one of these, I would just search out a 2 liter instead of the 1.5. I'm not a big fan of the fake leather seats just because I know that they're fake. Had I not read the brochure, I wouldn't have even been able to tell, and I would be just going on my merry way. But the fake leather seats, I'm not a huge fan of. But besides that, this is a really well driving car. It's quiet, it's comfortable, very modern. I love the modern gauges. I think it looks modern, and I think it feels like a 2021 vehicle. And I'm saying that because I've driven other 2021 vehicles that could have easily been written off as a 2016, and I wouldn't have even noticed because they feel very old. But this feels fresh, this feels new. If I were to drive off Ford's lot with this vehicle, I would feel good about my purchase. I think there's a couple really big draws for me with this vehicle. First of which is the driving feel. I really like the seating position, the visibility, and just how the vehicle drives. Another big draw for me is the back seat. The back seat room is very, very good compared to other vehicles in its class, like the Mazda CX-30. The CX-30, I really had to cram myself into the back, but the Escape is a different story. I like all the tech in here. I really like the digital gauges, and I like the center screen, Apple CarPlay, and I love the heated steering wheel and heated seats. I think overall, I am really, really happy with this here Escape, and it's priced as such. It's about $34,000, which is fairly pricey. However, the CX-30 was actually almost exactly the same price. So that's just what these vehicles are going for these days. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Spencer Shipley from Packey Webb Ford for getting me into the seat of this Ford Escape. He's absolutely awesome. Go contact him if you're looking for an Escape or any other Ford product or even a used vehicle on Packey Webb's lot. He will help you out and get you into the right car. His information is up on the screen as well as linked in the description below. Please contact him. He is absolutely awesome and it helps out the channel. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.